Segment Sheva, Nikud Arba, Nikud Echet. Yikara'u Shlosha Anashim. Yikara'u Shlosha Anashim. Through this segment, you'll learn how to present and tally a survey. Is there a question that you'd like to pose to a group of your classmates? Here are some examples. Inquiry Aleph. Hanilkadta o Hanilkad? Hanilkadta o Hanilkad? Inquiry Beit. Hanistarta o Hanistart? Hanistarta o Hanistart? Think of something that you'd like to ask your classmates. As you do so, try to select a verb in the Nifal binyan. At the end of this segment, you'll find a tally sheet that will give you a way to record the responses of your classmates, whether their answers are emet or sheker, and whether they represent the viewpoint of zecharim, males, or nekevot, females. In order to complete this tally sheet, we'll need to know how to say things like 3 males or 4 females. The remainder of this video is devoted to introduce to you how to express misparim, numbers, in particular cardinal numbers, those which describe quantity. The principal fact to appreciate about proper use of cardinal numbers, counting numbers, in Hebrew, is that they need to match the gender of the item which is being counted. In the brief table before you, notice, for example, the 2 different words for the number 3 that you'll find, depending on whether it's 3 kings or 3 queens, which are being listed. For 3 kings, the word for 3 is shalosha. The phrase is shalosha melachim in the first line. If instead it's queens that you are counting, shalosh melachot. Shalosh melachot. Principle 1 then is be sure to match the numeral with the gender of the item that you're counting. When it comes to word order, you'll notice when comparing the first and second lines of this table that either the numeral or the thing counted can come first. So we may say for 3 kings either shlosha melachim or melachim shlosha. When the entity being counted numbers more than 1, customarily that entity will be listed as plural. So you see in the first 2 lines the plural nouns, melachim and melachot. In the last line, however, you'll find that the entity counted is singular. This also is feasible in Biblical Hebrew. So we find shlosha melech in the 3rd line. This still means 3 kings. Or shlosha malka. This still is translated 3 queens. In the event that the numeral is placed first and the object referred to is definite, in those instances, we find that the numeral is placed in construct. So we find shaloshet hamelachim, shaloshet hamelachim. This is in contrast to the expression shalosha, the absolute form of the numeral melachim. Let's read over the numerals 1 through 10, beginning with the masculine forms, first absolute and then construct. Echad, shnayim, shlosha, arba'a, chamisha, shisha, shiv'a, shmona, tish'a, asara. Now in construct. Achat, shnei, shloshet, arba'at, chameshet, sheshet, shiv'at, shmonat, tish'at, aseret. Those were masculine. And now if modifying a feminine noun, first absolute, achat, shtaim, shalosh, arba, chamesh, shesh, sheva, shmone, tesha, eser. If in construct, achat, shtei, shlosh, arba, chamesh, shesh, sheva, shmone, tesha, eser. In the summary, point A, notice that zecharim means males and nekevot means females. Notice the sample patterns given in letter C. If your tally consists of only one person, if male, then zachar echad, zachar echad. If one female, then nekeva achat, nekeva achat. If there are two or more, refer to the column on the left. Exactly two women, for example, would be written as shtayim nekevot, shtayim nekevot. If exactly five men, then chamisha zecharim, chamisha zecharim. Here is a tally sheet where you may record the results of your survey. Let's be sure we're acquainted with the terms. In the far right column, rashim, rashim. This is used in the sense of sums or totals. Next, emet o sheker, emet o sheker. Here you can record the responses, whether true or false. The next element in the column, zecharim o nekevot. In the single shaded block on this row, write the combined total of all the zecharim whom you interviewed, regardless of whether the response was emet o sheker. Similarly, in the clear block on this row, write the grand total of the nekevot whom you interviewed, regardless of whether their answer was emet or sheker. The last row is entitled kol anashim, kol anashim. And here you'll simply write down one number, which will be the grand total of all the persons whom you interviewed, regardless of gender and regardless of answer. Please read over the final paragraph in order to learn the idiom for reporting the age of someone. In order to indicate that someone is 40 years old, for example, as in the case of Isaac's age when he married Rebekah, it's expressed as ben arba'im shana, ben arba'im shana. Now let's turn to the corresponding entry in the appendix to learn a few more numbers. Here's the appendix entry corresponding to segment Sheva Nikud Arba Nikud Chet. We'll begin with the numbers 11 to 20. We'll read the masculine form first, followed immediately by the corresponding feminine form. Thus, 11, masculine, is achad asar, achad asar. 11, feminine, would be achat esrei, achat esrei. And now we'll continue with 12 on through 20. Shneim asar, shneim asar. Shtem esrei, shtem esrei. Shalosha asar, shalosha asar. Shalosh esrei, shalosh esrei. Arba'a asar, arba'a asar. Arba esrei, arba esrei. Chamisha asar, chamisha asar. Chamesh esrei, chamesh esrei. As we continue on, the words will be stated just once instead of repeated. Shisha asar, shesh esrei. Shiv'a asar, shiva esrei. Shmona asar, shmone esrei. Tisha asar, tisha esrei. And esrim. Alternative forms attested for the numbers 11 and 12 are as follows. Ashte asar and ashte esrei. Shnei asar and shte esrei. Groups of 10 are as follows. Notice that there is no distinction between masculine and feminine. Eser, esrim, shloshim, arba'im, chamishim, shishim, shiv'im, shimonim, tish'im, me'ah. Beyond me'ah, we find elef for 1,000 and revava for 10,000 or multitude. Here are the ordinal numbers used for sequencing objects. In this case, there is a differentiation between masculine and feminine. We'll read them masculine followed directly by feminine. Rishon, Rishonah. Sheni, Shenit. Shalishi, Shalishit. Revi'i, Revi'it. Chamishi, Chamishit. Shishi, Shishit. Shvi'i, Shvi'it. Shemini, Sheminit. Tishi'i, Tishi'it. Asiri, Asirit. Notice finally that the ordinal numbers can function as fractions, so that Shalishit can mean 1/3 of a portion, and also notice that there are some dedicated words for fractions, such as Chatzi, meaning 1/2, Shalish, 1/3, Reva, 1/4, Chomesh, 1/5, Isaron, 1/10, and Maaser, a tithe.